This is Wilfrid, Gordon, McDonald, Partridge, written by Mem Fox and illustrated by Julie Vivas. We're going to be paying attention to what happens when we get to big words. There was once a small boy called Wilfrid, Gordon, McDonald, Partridge, and what's more, he wasn't very old either. His house was next door to an old people's home, and he knew all the people that lived there. He liked Mrs. Jordan, who played the organ. He listened to Mr. Hosking, who told him scary stories. He played with Mr. Tippet, who was crazy about cricket. He ran errands for Miss Mitchell, who walked with a wooden stick. He admired Mr. Drysdale, who had a voice like a giant. But his favorite person of all was Miss Nancy Allison Delacourt Cooper, because she had 4 names just as he did. He called her Miss Nancy and told her all his secrets. One day, Wilfrid Gordon heard his mother and father talking about Miss Nancy. "Poor old thing," said his mother. "Why is she a poor old thing?" asked Wilfrid Gordon. "Because she's lost her memory," said his father. "It isn't surprising," said his mother. "After all, she is 96. "What's a memory?" asked Wilfrid Gordon. He was always asking questions. "It is something you remember," said his father. But Wilfrid Gordon wanted to know more, so he called on Mrs. Jordan, who played the organ. "What's a memory?" he asked. "Something warm, my child, something warm." He called on Mr. Hosking, who told him scary stories. "What's a memory?" he asked. "Something from long ago, me lad, something from long ago." He called on Mr. Tippet, who was crazy about cricket. "What's a memory?" he asked. "Something that makes you cry, my boy, something that makes you cry." He called on Miss Mitchell, who walked with a wooden stick. "What's a memory?" he asked. "Something that makes you laugh, my darling, something that makes you laugh." He called on Mr. Drysdale, who had a voice like a giant. "What's a memory?" he asked. So we're going to stop it here for a second. Something as, what is this hard word right here? So this is a word that you might not have seen before, and you might be wondering how that you can figure out what that word is. So we're going to try some of our different strategies. We're going to try to blend it. Maybe we could get stuck with CIOUS. That's a different kind of ending. So blending it didn't really work. Now I'm going to try skipping it, okay? And I'm going to see if I can figure it out when I skip it. Something as gold, young man. Something as gold. Blank as gold. Then all of a sudden I remember there's a phrase, precious as gold, and I can make it make sense after skipping it. Something as precious as gold, young man. Something as precious as gold. So sometimes if sounding it out doesn't work, you can try skipping it and seeing if you can plug it in that way. So that's one of our strategies. So Wilfrid Gordon went home again to look for memories for Miss Nancy because she had lost her own. He looked for the shoebox of shells he had found long ago last summer and put them gently in a basket. He found the puppet on strings, which always made everyone laugh, and he put that in the basket too. He remembered with sadness the medal which his grandfather had given him, and he placed it gently next to the shells. So let's stop and think for a second. He is trying to find physical things he can bring in a basket to her to help her. But a memory is something that's in your head, right? That's not a physical thing. So we have to think about if that's going to help. Next, he found his football, which was as, now look, the same word just came back again. So even if I saw it and I wasn't quite sure, I can remember it from last time I figured it out. Next, he found his football, which was as precious as gold. And last of all, on his way to Miss Nancy's, he went into the hen house and took a fresh, warm egg from under a hen. Then Wilfrid Gordon called on Miss Nancy and gave her each thing one by one. What a dear strange thing to bring me all these wonderful things, thought Miss Nancy. Then she started to remember. She held the warm egg and told Wilfrid Gordon about the tiny speckled blue eggs she had once found in a bird's nest in her aunt's garden. She put a shell to her ear and remembered going to the beach by tram long ago and how hot she had felt in her button-up boots. So she is remembering because of the objects. She touched the metal and talked sadly of the big brother she had loved who had gone to war and never returned. She smiled at the puppet strings and remembered the ones she had shown to her sister and how she had laughed with a mouth full of porridge. She remembered oops, sorry, I gotta move this. Hold on. She bounced the football to Wilfrid Gordon and remembered the day she had met him and all the secrets they had told. And the two of them smiled and smiled because Miss Nancy's memory had been found again by a small boy who wasn't very old either. But he figured out a way to make those memories come back to the front that got lost all the way in the back. All right, so that was our story today, boys and girls. You're going to go answer some comprehension questions now, and then you're also going to do some just right reading on your own and try to practice some of those strategies that we practiced today. Have a great day.